I was sitting at my kitchen table, coffee in hand, just kind of staring out the window, when bam, lights cut out. Not a warning, not a flicker, just dead. At first, I thought, okay, fuse blew, no big deal. I'd been meaning to fix that old breaker anyway. But then I noticed it wasn't just me. From down the block, shouts, groans, people cussing loud enough to wake the neighborhood. Porch lights, TVs, even that background hum of the fridge, gone. Dead silence. You ever notice how loud electricity really is, just by not being there? So, I grab my phone, miracle still charged, and pull up the neighborhood chat. Man, chaos doesn't even begin to cover it. Blaming the city, blaming the electric company. Someone said we'd all missed the bill. And then, this one message hit like a brick. I just saw Karen outside, pointing some weird box at my house. 5 seconds later, everything's off. Now, you gotta understand, Karen's basically legend on our street. HOA president, sheriff, professional busybody. She once measured my lawn with a tape measure and wrote me up for being a 1/4 inch too high. One time, she wrote me a fine for leaving trash cans out 37 minutes past pickup. 37. You can't make this up. But shutting down the grid? That was a new one, even for her. So I walk outside. Whole street's out. People standing around with flashlights and dead laptops. Everyone grumbling about spoiled groceries and missed Zoom calls. And there she is, Karen, standing in her driveway. Chin up, holding this black box with antennas all over it. Looked like something straight out of a spy movie. But she's got it like it's her new purse from Home Depot. You're welcome, she shouts. Nobody has to worry about Wi-Fi thieves now. I've jammed every illegal signal on this block. And I swear, you could feel the neighborhood's collective blood pressure spike. Somebody yells that their medical equipment just shut off. Someone else is panicking about frozen breast milk thawing in the fridge. Karen's just soaking up the attention, standing there like she saved us from Russian hackers or something. That's when I realized this wasn't about Wi-Fi. Karen had crowned herself the queen of electromagnetic integrity, and in her mind, she'd just saved us all. In reality, she'd probably just committed about a dozen federal crimes, in front of a crowd of witnesses holding up their phones, recording the whole circus. So I lean on the fence, trying to keep it light. So, Karen, you bought a radio death ray, nuked the whole block, and now it's a public service? She shoots me this death glare. It's not a death ray. It's preventive. I'm protecting this neighborhood from hackers, squatters, and people who leech bandwidth without paying dues. Pretty sure you just leached the block of electricity. That one got a laugh. Her face goes red as her solo cup. She comes back at me. Don't get smart. I know your house is running illegal routers. Multiple access points. That's a violation and you will be fined. She says it like I'm running a cyber cartel out of my guest room. And then, like on cue, the streetlight above her flickers, sputters out. 2 more go dark further down. Now folks are really losing it. She's killing the grid. Shut it off, Karen. But she just hugs the box closer. This is my authority. I decide what's safe and I decide when it goes off. Right then, I knew. This wasn't regular HOA drama anymore. She'd snapped. The next few weeks, I was going to be the guy to dismantle her little empire. And, honestly, I was looking forward to it. Morning comes, and it's like a scene from a disaster flick. Neighbors lined up in robes and flip-flops, clutching ruined groceries, dead laptops, melted ice cream. You'd think the city cut off oxygen, not electricity. Every conversation ends with someone staring daggers at Karen's house. She's on her porch, sipping coffee like a queen, jammer on the table beside her, like it's her Oscar for Best Neighborhood Overlord. My strategy? Patience. And evidence. Arguing with Karen is like wrestling a pig. Everyone gets dirty, but the pig enjoys it. Around noon, the first emergency HOA email lands in my inbox. Subject: Neighborhood security breach. Body reads like a conspiracy blog. Claims she stopped a Wi-Fi exploitation ring, and everyone should be grateful for her temporary inconvenience. Meeting at 6, attendance mandatory. Yeah, right. Skip her meeting, and she'll invent a fine for lawn edge irregularity or improper garden gnome placement. Seen it before. Meeting room fills up fast. People are mad, especially the ones with little kids who couldn't stream cartoons during the blackout. If you've never seen a suburban parent when Disney Plus goes down, you haven't seen a real riot. Karen walks in, carrying her box like the crown jewels, and launches into this speech about necessary intervention, vulnerabilities, strength, and weakness. She proposes new rules. No more than one Wi-Fi router or extender per household. All networks must be registered and inspected by, guess who? Karen herself. Non-compliance? Fines. That's when the room explodes. You're not the FCC. My wife works from home. You have no right. I raise my hand, calm as ever. Karen, what qualifies you to regulate wireless signals? You got an engineering degree? License? She fires back. I have common sense. My authority covers safety. Funny, I say, because signal jammers are federally illegal. And you might have blocked 911 calls. Now that gets a reaction, gasps, mutters, people Googling under the table. Karen flails, fear-mongering. Don't listen. But the damage is done. Parents, people with medical equipment, they're livid. Still, Karen doubles down. If you have nothing to hide, you should welcome inspection. I realize she'll never stop. This is about control, not safety. So after the meeting devolves into chaos, I hang back. Overhear her whispering. Power is perception, and perception is mine to control. That's all I needed to hear. Time for round 2. That night, I rig up my own system. Cameras hidden in birdhouses and fake rocks. Smart plugs monitoring power surges. If Karen fires up her device again, I'll have proof. Sure enough, 2 nights later, 9 p.m., the street goes dark. Karen sneaks out, jams the block, every step caught in night vision. Next morning, I send the footage to the HOA vice president, the guy with the failed oxygen machine, and, most important, my buddy at the utilities department. No explanation, just the video. By noon, screenshots are everywhere. The group chat's a wildfire. Karen sends another all-caps email threatening $500 fines for defamatory footage. Yeah, good luck with that. The neighborhood shifts. People are openly angry now, plotting, trading stories. Karen's still out there, clipboard in hand, peering into windows, inspecting routers. It's gone from funny to straight-up creepy. Someone starts a petition to boot her as HOA president. I sign it, but I know Karen doesn't go quietly. Sure enough, that evening, the blackout is worse. Karen, standing in her driveway, jamming us again. 2 neighbors actually rush her. She threatens to fine them, threatens to call the sheriff. That hesitation, nobody wants to be the one arrested, just fuels her. But I've got what I need. My smart plug caught the surge, my cameras caught the act, the timestamps match up. I send it to the utilities department with the subject, unauthorized signal interference. They don't mess around. By morning, the chat is a battle zone. No more passive complaints. Now it's, she's going down. Let's file every complaint we can. Someone posts, community center. Tomorrow, bring everything. And people do. Screenshots, ruined food, dead tech. My footage printed frame by frame. If Karen had walked in, she'd have seen her little empire crumble. But she doesn't show. Not until that afternoon, when a white SUV shows up. 2 guys in utility uniforms, looking all business. Karen marches out, tries to boss them around, turns on her jammer in front of them, and the power dies on 3 houses. The guys don't flinch. They radio for backup. 15 minutes later, 2 police cruisers roll up, lights blazing. Whole street comes out like it's the 4th of July. Karen tries waving HOA bylaws, points at me, calls me the ringleader. The cops confiscate her jammer, load it in a case, and tell her she might be facing charges. She screams about bandwidth corruption. For the first time in weeks, peace. But I know better. Karen's not done until she's out of moves. 2 days later, new email. She says she's forming a neighborhood compliance task force, wants volunteers for door-to-door inspections. I wish I could say everyone ignored her, but a handful of folks, paranoid, retired, whatever, sign up. That's the twist. Now it's not just Karen, it's Karen and her minions. They march down the street, clipboards in hand. Most doors slam shut, but a few people, out of fear or exhaustion, let them in. Now it's not just a device war, it's a battle of legitimacy. But she forgot one thing. Perception only works if people stay silent. That morning, after I send my footage, the neighborhood splits. Half the folks are emboldened, the other half are nervous. Karen fires back. Another email, this one accusing me of slander, conspiracy, signal manipulation fraud, which, I'm pretty sure, is not a real crime. But the difference this time? I'm not alone. By lunch, counter petitions fly, signatures pile up, Karen's grip slips. One of her minions, a retiree named Bill, shows up at my door, hands me his clipboard, muttering about not wanting to take photos inside people's homes. Every person who leaves her side is another brick out of her wall. But Karen escalates, always. Evening comes, convoy of trucks at her house. They unload boxes, wires, what looks like satellite dishes. By night, her garage glows blue, machines humming, neighborhood chat full of theories, radio tower, secret grid tap, you name it. And then, the worst blackout yet. The whole block's dark except for Karen's house, shining like a neon fortress. She opens her door, tells us if we want power, we have to pay into her system, her rules. It's extortion, plain and simple. And you know what? A few families, sick of spoiled food, agree. That's the danger. She's building dependency. I call utilities. This time, I bring them over. They see her set up. Wires, amplifiers, a homemade radio tower. The inspectors are on the phone with higher-ups in minutes. Karen comes out screaming, blocks the driveway. But when they threaten law enforcement, she backs off, barely. That night, she tries sabotage, caught on camera, cutting my cables. What she doesn't know is, it's a decoy. My real system's buried deep. Next morning, I post the footage. Whole neighborhood sees her for what she is. She claims deep fakes. Nobody buys it. Memes go wild. Wi-Fi Karen, the cable cutter. Her support crumbles. And then, the day of reckoning. White van, neighborhood services, pulls up. More equipment. But by 5 p.m., the real convoy arrives. 2 utility trucks, a police car, and, no joke, an FCC vehicle. Karen melts down, shouting, "This is harassment." The FCC agent steps up, "Calm as you please. Ma'am, we're investigating unlawful signal interference." They open her garage. Wires, amplifiers, antennas, even a jerry-rigged lawnmower tower. The agent holds up her original black box. This device alone is a federal violation, tens of thousands in fines. The neighborhood erupts. Cheers, hugs, ding-dong, the witch is gone. They haul Karen off, still shrieking about conspiracies. The streets lighter, like someone lifted a weight. Within 48 hours, HOA calls an election. Karen's out, her name erased. Denise, the new president, promises transparency and a strict no Wi-Fi inspections policy. We all laugh, relief flooding the block. Utility crews spend a week repairing the damage, over 20 grand worth. Me? Folks drop by with wine, cookies, thank yous. I joke that I'd rather juggle chainsaws than run for HOA. But it's nice to be the calm voice after weeks of chaos. Karen's house stays dark. Rumors swirl, federal charges, skipped bail, hiding out at her sister's place. Nobody really knows, nobody cares. Her story becomes a punchline. Until, a month later, I get a letter, shaky handwriting, no return address. It's from Karen. Blames me. Demands I confess for the good of the neighborhood. I almost spit out my coffee laughing. Straight to the shredder it goes. And that's it. Wi-Fi flows free, lights stay on. The group chat goes back to lost cats and plumber recommendations. Life's pretty sweet without a self-appointed dictator regulating your bandwidth. But tell me, what would you have done if Karen ran your block? Is there a point where fighting back becomes going too far? Drop your thoughts below. Justice, power, community, where's the line? I'll be reading the comments, you know what I mean?